Hello everyone, welcome back to Studio Tech. I'm here with you all for another finance dashboard template using Power BI. This time it's going to be the shortest and simplest video that you're going to see, so you can build your own finance dashboard in less than 15 minutes. Ready to go? Alright, so we're going to build something around um, all finance metrics. These are the exact ones that you will need as part of your financial analysis. You're going to have actual versus budget, variance percentage, KPI cards, year on year analysis, and a clean waterfall chart. Now, the waterfall chart, I'll link in the description. Please go and check out my detailed video of how you can interpret a waterfall chart and how you can use your own data metrics to create one from the scratch. So in this video, it's going to be a quick 15-minute finance dashboard template. Let's go. Also, if you're new here, I upload use cases, Power BI practical use cases that help you build real world dashboards used in companies today. So make sure you subscribe if you find this useful. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and import my financial data set. Data, workbook. I've already cleaned my Excel spreadsheet. So let's quickly go ahead and load sample financials. I'm also going to link the spreadsheet data set for you in the description box, so you can use it for your practice as well. Here's the table that we have. So we've got the date, we've got month, year, category, actual, and budget, right? Now this is the exact type of data finance teams work with for annual budgeting. Let's go ahead and load. So we've just got one simple table. Again, we're going to create a dashboard. I'm going to create a series of videos where you will only see simple tables and simple data models that you're absolutely able to very easily convert into a report before we dive into the complicated ones. Yep. All right. Step 2, take a look at your data pane. You'll be able to see all of those columns over here. Let's also take a look at the model. It's just one table. Here is your data view. Voila. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and continue. This time what we want to do is check your data types. Date, we've got it in the long format. I'm going to go ahead and change it to short date. So date data type, which is fine. What we're also going to do is maybe add another column so that we have the month number generated on the right hand side. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a new column. We are still outside of the editor, meaning what we are going to do here is part of DAX. Not necessarily DAX exactly, but this is not a DAX expression, although it is a function. So we're going to use the month function to calculate the month number from the date column of the financials table. Now, hang on. So this is the name of my table. Let's go ahead and change the name of the table. Let's rename it to financials. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and add a new column over here. Month number is going to use the month function on the date column of our financials table. What does the month number do? It generates the number of the month in the year, in the order of the year. So we're now going to sort the month column by the month number. Why do we do that? So that you know that anytime your data is sorted, it is sorted chronologically. Sort by month number. All right. That's it. Our data is now ready for reporting. Now let's go ahead and create the three most important finance metrics that we're going to use for our finance dashboard. The quick, simple finance dashboard. Let's go ahead and create. I'm just going to create all of them in the financials table itself. Let's go ahead and create new measure. First one's going to be total actual. What is the actual value? Is the sum of actual column data from the financials table. Right? Just double check you've got an actual column over there. Okay. Next measure is going to be the actual budget. So again, financials table, new measure, total budget. Total budget is going to be the sum of all values from the budget column in the financials data set. We do have a budget column. Always double check you're giving the correct table names and the correct column names for your measures. The last measure that we want to create here is going to be variance. Let's go ahead and create another new measure, which is the total actual minus total budget. And that's it. So we've got total actual, total budget, and variance over here. Now let's go ahead and create some additional metrics for our reporting, which is going to be variance percentage, year-on-year actual, and year-on-year growth. So let's select the financials table, add another new measure. All of these measures are going to be useful for us to present our data as a report. Variance percentage, we are going to divide variance by the total budget. I will also link all of these measures for you in the description box. You're able to reuse these measures with your data if you anytime require. Let's go ahead with the next measure, which is year-on-year actual. Now, this is where we're starting a bit of DAX. You will be able to see we're using calculate keyword. We're going to calculate the total actual. But what we are doing is we are going to calculate over a particular period. Date add from today's date up until the last year, as in the previous year, so -1 over the year function, right? I'm also going to create a separate video for date add function, so do check that out. Expect that soon. All right. Lastly, let's go ahead and create year-on-year growth. This time we're going to subtract the year-on-year actual from the total actual, and then we divide it by the year-on-year actual using the divide function. Now a lot of these things may appear to be very financial, like these are all finance calculations. So just take a deep breath and use them for your DAX. Take a look at what they do and then understand the concept from a reporting perspective, right? I'll try to cover as much of information as possible from a reporting perspective. I will also link through any material that might be able to help you understand the finance concepts behind the same. Date add is something that might be very useful for finance professionals, particularly with date related functions. So I'm going to do a quick short video on that, maybe following this. All right. Okay, so what are we going to do with all of these measures here? What do we aim to calculate? These are the core KPIs every CFO looks at. Your budget tells the plan, your actual tells the performance, variance tells the gap, and year on year tells us the improvement or the decline, right? So all of these metrics are what we're going to use for our reporting. Let's go. building our KPI cards. Let's start with our KPI. Let's add KPI cards to summarize the overall financial story. All right, let's take a look at the KPI visual. Some more videos may follow for KPIs because they are a great way to explain to the teams and present to the stakeholders whether the performance is above or below your target values. So we've got the measures in place. Let's go ahead and add our first KPI, just a quick one. It's a very simple one. So you'll see that you've got the value, the target, and whatever is the axis against which you're measuring. So I'm going to present the actual value with respect to where we are to achieving the budget, and then here is the date. That's the target, right? So there it is. A simple visual, but it will right away tell you whether we have achieved a goal or not. There are great ways of customizing KPI values. I will put more videos subsequently and maybe link them in the description. So watch out, please like and subscribe if you'd like to learn more such features of Power BI towards data presentation, data analytics within your teams or for yourself, right? Okay. So now just a quick report, right? We're going to create our first financial report. It's going to be fairly quick and easy, not too much of data, no complications. Now let's get into our next chart, which is the clustered column chart. And you'll notice that I generally make that mistake. If you don't select outside your visual, you will end up overwriting it. So please make sure to create new visuals instead of overwriting the existing ones. In this clustered column chart, in the x-axis, let's go ahead and include the month. For the values, let's include total budget and total actual. Because it's a clustered column chart, you can select as many y-axis parameters as you would want. In the sort, so we've already sorted our data by month number, which is why you're able to see that the months are automatically sorted chronologically, right? You can go ahead and now configure it to your uh, liking, like change the title, change the colors of the bars, however. Like for example, we've got the KPI in green, which is fine because generally KPIs are green or red. So, just for our own understanding of whether it's positive or negative, sort of. So what do we get to understand from this waterfall chart? The quick one, cluster, sorry, not waterfall, clustered column chart. Quickly helps us to identify how much have been spending each month. Let me just focus it so you will see, right? This is the budget, this is your actual. This is the actual spending of Jan when this has been the budget value, right? October is the closest, and December probably we had the most funding budgeted, and the actual is like skyrocketed there. Only in the month of July, what we have what we actually spent, as in July, August, spent values are much lesser than, so this is how you read through the charts for how much is the month's spending, what is the budget, so on and so forth. So these kind of information can be very easily presented using charts like this. That's what we're trying to demonstrate. All right, now let's go to our variance waterfall chart. I'll also link another video where we've in detail explained what a waterfall chart is. So I'm not going to elaborate it too much here. I'll link it in the description. Waterfall chart is going to be the trend, the pattern of how we have been spending, right? So for the category, let's select month. And then for y-axis, I'm going to select the variance. Isn't that beautiful there? So let's go ahead and just focus it a bit more. What are we seeing here? We are seeing variance by month. How much has it increased? Is there a decrease? In what? So what is the measure that we are using? We are using the variance here, right? So you're taking a good closer look at the trend of variance in the spending, in your expenses, in the financial report, right? So interpreting data is also crucial in how we present it. When you present it, we can also discuss slightly in depth about what we are talking. So this particular chart, it lets us visualize which months contributed positively or negatively to the variance, overall variance of our report, right? Okay, so there it is. Let's just quickly arrange it so it doesn't look very messy. I'll bring it together here. There it is. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and create another chart, which is a line chart. A fairly simple one again, but it's very powerful in what it presents. So what we are going to present in our line chart is the total actual values, year on year actual values, and in the axis I'm going to select the month, right? So this particular chart is a year on year analysis. What does it mean in simple terms? Just in last year, what has been the spending? That's all. That's simple it is. So let's expand the visual and you'll see, right? Every month, what has been the spending? What is the actual spending each month? Now into this, there are numerous combinations of parameters that you can include. Like you can go ahead and add more columns of date, day, number, and then expand it or collapse it. You can use hierarchies, which also we will talk later. As of now, we have used it on the monthly values, so you will be able to see what the monthly expenditure is. Does that make sense? So this shows whether our performance is growing every year, like year over year, has it been growing? Even if monthly variance looks good, sometimes the year on year can reveal deeper trends, right? That's it. So there is your line chart. So finally, we can format it in your ways. So what we are going to do is just, I'm going to rename the line chart. Let's name it to year on year analysis. And then the clustered column chart is going to be this is okay, actual versus budget, right? So let's just simplify it, budget versus actual. And then that one is variance by month, which is fine. And here you have what is the KPI. What's the first KPI that we have? Total actual. So this value is going to be, this is presenting to us the total actual. There it is. There is your first quick and easy report of some financial data that will allow a team or a group to be able to see how much they have spent against a budget, what the trend has been, if you want a slightly deeper look of how that has been happening, and then an overall view of what is the value that we have achieved, exceeded, or been fallen short of. Okay, so I hope this is a quick short demo tutorial of a finance dashboard that you can start from your end. Please also take a look at my full-fledged course, link at the description. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, so feel free to drop them in the comments, or you can also email to me for any queries for your dashboard needs.